Hey there, automation lovers! In this video, that is part 4 of my Factory Automation Games 2024 series, I bring you some fully released games to check out right now, some games new and some a few years old now, in case you missed them from earlier years. So let's get started, shall we? Mindustry. Probably the most complex and complete of all the games on this list will be Mindustry or Mindustry, which is a graphically minimalistic logistics game with tower defense mechanics. You start off with a simple mining setup, collecting some resources to start building belts and a few miners, and slowly expand to get additional resources which will be used to build more advanced structures as well as used as ammunition for your towers. The game is on a timer, but you can always pause and issue commands for your ship anytime you want, which gives this game a very relaxed vibe even though enemy waves are constantly counting down to your doom. Enemies arrive in the usual tower defense fashion and you have to build turrets and walls and feed those turrets with various ammunition to hold the enemies off. It starts out pretty simple with a few small enemy soldiers and slowly escalates into giant mech units, aerial units, and so much more. It's absolutely stunning how your defense system scales from a simple row of duo turrets to a massive setup of cryo-fluid cooled giant multi-block heavy fire weaponry and protective bubbles and so much more. With a certain massive update, the developer pretty much introduced an entire new game with lasers as power transmitters and RTS style unit production and AI programming and so much more. Like I said, this probably is the most complex game in this list, heck, in all the 4 lists so far I've made on this series. You won't even believe just how cheap this game is considering its play value compared to some of the other choices available in this genre. Definitely don't let the graphics bother you because you will miss out on something great here otherwise. So check it out, you will not regret it. The game sits at an impressive 95% positive on Steam with over 17,000 reviews. It is designed to be a single player as well as multiplayer with online PvP and co-op as well as cross-platform multiplayer across Windows, Steam, macOS, SteamOS, Linux, and the mobile platforms. It is an absolute steal at $10 or sometimes even at $3, has Steam Workshop, modding, level editor, and the best part I saved for last. Yes, the game is actually free on the dev's website. However, definitely support them if you can. Beltex. Similar to Shapes, here's another minimalistic relaxed factory automation game but with a cool twist, that is, using numbers as resources and hexagonal grid instead of the usual rectangular cells. Here, you combine various number resources to produce sums and products of those numbers and feed your core building to progress. It is a light automation game without a lot of depth and thought requirement, just something you can casually engage in while listening to the peaceful, relaxing music, and build massive chains of conveyors and machines without a particular goal to pursue. Check it out if you like simplicity above all. The game has 87% positive on Steam with 185 reviews so far. It's a single player game designed for the Windows Steam platform and is one of the cheapest in this list, priced at $5 with discounts up to 60% off. Beltmatic. A sort of a successor to the previous game by the same developer, this one's doing a lot better in terms of its sales and review scores, but more on that in a bit. This is also a minimalistic automation game similar to Shapes, and this time no more hex grid, and involves extracting numbers to feed into machines that add or multiply them. Yes, a similar concept as before. You can quickly copy sections of your belts and machines to create duplicates in the chain for multiplied production. Similar to the previous game, this one also is entirely reliant on your desire to keep creating massive factories just for the fun and simplicity of it. Without much of a grand goal to the design, some may like that, some may not, you decide for yourself. The game has 93% positive on Steam with 619 reviews and is a single player experience for the Windows Steam client. It is priced a bit higher at $7 and goes on discount for up to 20% off. Yorg.io. Continuing our journey with minimalistic games leads us to the next game, which is about creating defense systems and supply chains to hold out against invading zombie hordes. The game works like this. There's a day-night cycle, and during the day you set up your buildings and defense systems, and at night the lovely guests arrive to tear down our home. Your job is to secure various resource deposits, handle supply of resources, and build an ever-expanding network of resource harvesters and defensive turrets to fight the ever-increasing hordes of zombies. There's even an upgrade tree to help you get better at fighting off the enemy. See how long you can last before your fortress falls. The game has 89% positive on Steam with 521 reviews. It is a single-player experience for a Windows Steam client. It is also one of the cheapest games here at $4 and discounts up to 85% off. Word Factori. No, that's not a typo. It is spelled like that. So this game is another minimalistic automation game like Shapes, but this time it uses words instead of numbers or shapes. You start with the letter I and bend it to make the letter C, and use two letter C's, inverting one to get an O, and so on. It's a pretty interesting take on the whole minimalistic goalless automation genre, and is worth checking out if you like this style of games which allow you to just relax and build to your heart's content without any timers or pressure to go faster. This one actually gives you level-based goals and even has statistics on how well you did for each ward level, so that's a bit different. The game has 85% positive with 322 reviews out. It is single player for Windows Steam client, priced at $6 with discounts up to 40% off. Facteroids. Taking a break from minimalistic games and going for a bit more graphically pleasing, we have this game which sees you mine the crap out of everything in sight. Just mine it, that's right. Just set up mining equipment on every inch of the asteroid surface you can manage and mine it dry. That's pretty much the goal of this game, and it looks to be very fun and satisfying doing it based on what is shown in the trailers. Unlike some other games in this genre, this game has missions lasting anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours and requires you to restart in every mission, but gives you some variation in each level to keep it from getting boring. There's even a mission that sees you hopping from asteroid to asteroid, which is sort of like a free play mode, though the game doesn't actually offer a free play mode itself. Now again, this might turn some people off since you can't play for hours and hours in the same save and keep making progress like Factorio and others. But for some others, the clear concept of goals to be reached might be a welcome feature. You decide for yourself again. With an 84% positive on Steam with 65 reviews, this game is designed for single player and Windows Steam only. It features the level editor, so that is cool to have. Rivertown Factory. Now about this game, no longer stuck in the trappings of an automation game with mining and smelting alone, here we have a sort of a life sim in the veins of Stardew Valley with all the automation goodness one could ever want in a game, such as creating automated production assembly lines from wooden planks to circuit boards, silicon purification to photovoltaic power generation, using inter-district teleportation stations to receive products at various levels, expanding your factory's territory to the entire continent, running breweries, oil presses, and even producing watches and antibiotics, reinforced concrete, rubber, and large-scale computers, and the list goes on. Yes, they actually married automation genre with life sim, featuring combat, crafting, exploration, and making friends, and even getting married. Oh, what a time to be alive. Many reviews mention Stardew Valley with martial arts, and this seems to be a pretty fine description of the game. There are multiple styles of play and things to focus on, so it's safe to say the game offers a lot of value for those who like to sink their teeth in, even though the game is not natively an English production. With 90% positive on Steam with 1030 reviews out, this game is for single player for Windows Steam client. For those who can't believe the store for real, don't worry, there is a demo for you to try out. Additionally, the game seems to support Xbox controllers, so yay for that. Mob Factory. Combining tower defense with automation, this game sees you protecting your tower using turrets to defeat massive hordes of enemies, to collect their loot and utilize them to create factories and create an ever-expanding fortress of turrets and contraptions to fend off the incoming waves. If you're a tower defense lover and don't mind the heavily pixelated looks of the game, then this might be a good pick. If you don't like tower defense or are looking for something a bit more relaxing and with less time pressure and maybe even a bit of idling, then check out the next game in the list. Mob Factory has 71% positive on Steam with 332 reviews and is single player for Windows Steam. It has a demo you can try out, so give it a try. Rusty's Retirement. Now this game has a very creative edge to it. You see, it is an idle automation game, but that's not the most interesting aspect. Sure, there are other automation idlers, but this one sits at the bottom of your screen, literally, occupying a small section of your monitor while you do your reading or whatever, so it can be played very AFK style if you so choose. There's even a focus mode which slows down crop production rates so you don't get constantly distracted by having to tend to your farm. It features Rusty and their robot friends forging a new green utopia at the bottom of your screen, and your job is to assist them in doing just that with a little bit of your free time whenever you can, of course, no pressure. Check it out if you like the concept. Over 300,000 people already have, so why not? The game has overwhelmingly positive 96% with over 7,000 reviews. It is single player for Windows, Steam and Mac OS and is pretty cheap, $5.25, and goes on discount as well.
Rusty's realized how sometimes you might want to dedicate your time to other things.
The Riftbreaker. Not actually a full automation game, but contains it as a part of its multi-genre mix formula. This game is a base defense, base building, automation, exploration, resource gathering, and action RPG mix. Boy, that's a lot of genres, I know. That's what makes this game so awesome. Also, just look at the graphics. Damn, that looked good. Also, the animations and sounds are just perfectly done. And the soundtrack is just bomb. Okay, you want to know about the gameplay, right? So this game drops you in an alien land where you have to set up a base, explore and research, extract resources and build walls and turrets to defend against hostile alien life forms. Well, actually, you're the hostile alien life form, but whatever. For freedom! It's got all the base building mechanics for defense, research, and even cultivation of plants. It also has pipes to feed machines like reactors, sludge purifiers, and so much more, which made me consider including this game in this particular list of automation games, even though this game lacks conveyor belts. The combat is crisp and the weapons very satisfying to unleash on the helpless denizens of the land, and the land itself is very lush and varied, with various sections of the planet opening up to you for exploration as you go through the game. The game has a 90% positive on Steam with over 15,000 reviews and is for single player for Windows, Steam, PS5 and the sex boxes. It has had 3 content update DLCs, each priced at $10 on top of its $30 base price, but goes on discounts up to 45% off. The store page also mentions full Xbox and PlayStation controller support, level editor, Steam Workshop, and the best part, a demo for you to try out hacking the aliens for yourself. See if you like it. Astroneer. This is a pretty old game, but it is a gold game. No, really, it is a really cozy, satisfying outer space planet exploration and digging sandbox with a beautiful soundtrack that is designed to make hours of your painful life vanish. A very therapeutic game indeed. A must play for anyone who loves base building and exploring alien lands while making a mad dash back to base to get a whiff of precious O2. Yes, this game has oxygen mechanic, but no other restrictions on how you want to explore the land and shape it however you will. It is a true sandbox with a lot of crafting, mining, gathering, and a little bit of automation, but makes such a complete package of fun. I couldn't help but recommend to you guys, even though it is not exactly a Factorio-like automation. It's just a really good base builder with decent automation. I think everyone should try out at least once. Also, it has a unique concept not seen in any other game, and that is the concept of a spherical world. I mean, the planets are actually spherical. You'll know what I mean when you start playing the game. Also of note is the game is procedurally generated and is voxel based. The game has 92% positive on Steam with over 102,000 reviews in over 7 years. It is single player and online co-op for Windows Steam. It is priced at $30 but goes on discount up to 60% off. The game features controller support and, sadly, the worst part, enough cosmetic microtransactions in its online store to make you think it's some kind of a free-to-play crap. But make no mistake, this game is not free to play. It is a very good game made by a pretty greedy developer who decided to churn out low effort microtransactions instead of working on actually playable DLCs and expansions, sadly. So don't spend money on any of that crap, okay? Industry Idol. Now here's a game with a unique business model. I'll talk about that in a bit, but first, what's the game like? Well, it's a minimalistic game combining different elements such as factory building, resource management, market simulation and trading, idle aspects and offline progress, as well as prestige and upgrades. It features over 100 different factories for you to build and manage, over 90 different resources that you will produce, buy and sell on the player market, fully utilizing the online aspect of this game, a pretty in-depth economy simulator from the looks of it, with detailed data and analytics at your fingertips to make the best decisions possible. Again, not really a full automation game, but a factory-related experience nonetheless. The game has 78% positive on Steam with 1,260 reviews and is designed to be a single-player experience with real player trading for the Windows Steam client, Mac OS, SteamOS, and Linux platforms. About the business model, this game is actually free to play and only has 2 of what the devs call DLCs, each priced at $5 with discount going up to 30% off, which add additional content and value to the experience. But word is that the base free version of the game contains enough content for quite a while, more so than regular demo versions usually do. So if you're willing to check out the base game, you can do so for free before you decide to support the dev with some money for some more content. A pretty generous business model if successfully pulled off, in my opinion. Free base game with paid DLCs seems acceptable to me. Just think of it as a very generous free demo. No harm in trying it out, right? Now a little bonus for you all. Plan B, Terraform. This early access game is all about terraforming an almost uninhabitable planet into a lush habitable paradise by using trucks, trains, and factories to process materials and create a new home for millions of people in an environment with atmosphere, rainfall, weather, and flora. You will use greenhouse gas factories to melt the ice on the planet and create atmosphere, bring in rain and form rivers and oceans so you can start reforesting the planet and create a plan B for humankind. This game is somewhat based on credible near future scenarios and uses an educational approach to greenhouse effects and water cycle mechanisms. The game has 91% positive on Steam with 2,087 reviews out and is designed for single player for Windows Steam. There doesn't seem to be a demo out for now, maybe in the future, we don't know, but just check the description below the video to be updated in the future. And that's it for this one. I'll be back with more in the future. Some of the information on this list might change in the future, so be sure to check the description for any updates. Check out my community post section of my channel where I'll constantly update you guys on what I'm working on. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys. Like, comment and subscribe if I deserve it.